An Iranian reporter confronted U.S. soccer player Tyler Adams during a press conference. And this is part of the ever-growing tensions between the United States and Iran. It's really come to a head at the World Cup in Doha. And so let's see how Adams responded to the provocative question.
You're pronouncing our country's name wrong. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all, let's get this clear. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against black people in its own borders? And we saw the Black Lives Matter movements over the past few years. Are you okay to be representing the US? Meanwhile, there's so much discrimination happening against black people in America.
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. Yeah, that being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. One thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures and kind of assimilate into different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. Growing up for me, I grew up in a white family with obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So not everyone has that ease and the ability to do that, and obviously it takes longer to understand. And through education, I think it's super important. Like you just educated me now on the pronunciation of your country. So. Yeah, it's a process. I think as long as you see progress, that's the most important thing.
This young man, Tyler Adams, did very well in a heated conversation, or I would say confrontation, from the media. And they are going to play, if you didn't know, U.S. is going to play Iran and in soccer. And who knows, this could be posturing. This could be them trying to jar the captain of the soccer team and kind of bring other things outside of soccer into the conversation as a distraction. But so there's no disrespect to Tyler Adams. I would guess, I don't know how old he is. I'm probably double his age at least. I'm almost 45. So at his age, I wouldn't be able to even put together an answer like that. So that was impressive. But I do want to say what I would want to say. The headspace that I'm in right now. He's in a difficult position, and he can't say what I'm going to say. So this is not a knock on that young man, Tyler Adams. I appreciate how he represented the United States in a very tough position. First of all, for any questions out there like that, you ask a question or you make a statement, this reporter says you're not pronouncing the name of the country right. It's Iran, not Iran. First of all, respect is earned. It's a two-way street. I meant no disrespect. I'm just pretending like I'm answering the question. I meant no disrespect if I mispronounce the name of your country as Iran. But I'm interpreting your attempt to correct me as disrespectful. So let's hash that out before we get into any racism or Black Lives Matter. I want to know, is that to me, I interpreted that as disrespect. Because if it is disrespect, if it is an attempt to exert power over me, then I can call your country whatever the hell I want to call your country. And that's going to bring us to the Black Lives Matter and the differences between our two countries. We are not friends here, sir. So I want to respect you. I hope you can respect me. I'm a guest here. Our teams are going to play. And hopefully that's clear. You have no power over me. I will pronounce the name of your country however the hell I want to pronounce the name of your country. Is that understood? In regards to Black Lives Matter, there's a lot of misunderstanding about what the Black Lives Matter issue was in the United States. Let me help educate you about it, because you brought up racism. Every country, every place, every inch of this earth has prejudice, hatred, bigotry, and racism. That's not something unique to the United States. That's not something unique to your country or any other country in the world. So let's talk about what Black Lives Matter was. There's a battle in our country or in the world right now. You're seeing it in Brazil with Bolsonaro. You're seeing it in China with protest. You're seeing it you're seeing it in Italy with Meloni. You're seeing it all over the place. It's a battle between big government power and corporations versus the will of the people. And that's what the Black Lives Matter movement really was about. Government and corporations bonding together in an attempt to suck up power and to control where we go forward as a country in America. It wasn't about helping Black lives. They wouldn't care about my black ass because I'm not for Biden. I'm not for McConnell. I'm not for the uniparty control in America. So they wouldn't care about my black ass. They wouldn't even call me black. They would call me a white supremacist. This movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, was simply an anti-populist movement. In society, any society, there is danger of large governments and corporations becoming so big and so powerful that they become unstoppable. And that's what this is an attempt to do, for them to work together to consolidate power, to share power. Obviously, if they tell people that's what they're doing, all the corporations that backed Black Lives Matter was backed by the uniparty Democrats and Republicans in America. If they were telling people that we're consolidating uniparty power, people wouldn't be behind it. So you have to put wrapping paper on it to try to leverage the color of somebody's skin and the insecurities in the world in our country to actually support consolidation of power. It's a manipulation play. That's what it was. And we found out that the global network, there are common people who really believed it, but we found out the global network was corrupt. And if you go to their website right now and you look at the list of demands, the number one demand was to keep Donald Trump and remove him from power and prevent him from running again. That has nothing to do with Black lives. So the biggest difference between my country and country like yours are that we have rights protected in the Constitution. So it's not illegal in our country, in America, to be racist. It's not illegal in our country to be bigoted, because those terms are subjective. They're not objective terms. There's not a solid definition on what those things are. The people who define it are individuals or people who have power. And we just saw in Ireland, they're trying to pass a law to make hate speech illegal.
The Minister for Justice is to strengthen the law against hate crimes and hate speech with the aim of making it easier to secure convictions in the courts. Helen McEntee said the proposed legislation would strike a balance between safeguarding free speech and being victim-centred.
All that is a formalized process to put in prison and jail dissidents. That's what the Black Lives Matter movement was for, to take us closer down to that direction. So the best document, the most beautiful document that's ever been written that I've seen in modern history is the Constitution. And that is the Constitution, Bill of Rights, starting with rights that protect the people. And the Black Lives Matter movement taught us more than anything that we need to protect that document and those rights. Otherwise, we go to a very dark downhill road and place. So we've learned that Americans should value more than anything protecting those rights in an impartial, unbiased way. There is no place in the world where racism doesn't exist other than heaven. So we don't live in heaven. There will always be hatred. There'll always be racism. If you want to give the government power to try and eliminate it, then that means they are just going to squash you. And now we've learned in America, there's nothing more important than fighting for those rights, protecting those rights. And that's the biggest difference between our country and yours. Are there any more questions from Iran?